Hey, online crew, let's talk about getting you focused. Who struggles with a bit of focus? So you sit down, you know you've got to get something done, and within a matter of minutes, you're already distracted. Some people really struggle with focus. So, this is our topic of discussion today. And if you're not familiar with my lives, the very first live video of the week is something always to do with personal development, personal growth, something to help you be a better version of yourself. Because all the social media stuff and strategies, it's all awesome. You do need to know about it, but it's actually you that's going to make yourself be successful in your business. It's the way that you think, it's the way that you move, it's the actions that you take or you don't take, it's the way that you work, it's your productivity, it's how focused you are, all of that kind of stuff. It's you that's going to make you successful or not all the shiny stuff, absolutely 100% you. And some people are really productive and really focused and can get a lot done. And others of you are really easily distracted, very non-productive, and you waste weeks and then months and then years wondering why you're not further ahead. Does this ring true to anybody? Do you need a little bit more help with focus? So what I'm going to go through in this video is share with you 5 kind of things that you should really kind of pay attention to if you want to stay more focused. I'm hoping this will help some of you. Not long ago, I did a video at this time of the week talking about being more productive. So all of that stuff's still relevant that I spoke about then. And if you just look back at the last couple of weeks, you'll find that video. This is about kind of when you sit down, how do you stay focused? How do you really sort of get more things done in the moment? Does that make sense? So if you're live with me, please say hello. Let me give you a shout out. Who is here? We've got Christina, focus. Yes. Hello, Dean. How are you? Good to see you on. Cherie, we've got Donna. Donna needs, hey, how are you there? Laurie, good to see you on. That's me, distracted. Who else knows they get distracted? Come on, fess up. I want to hear from you. I want you to be honest with me. Yes, true. Hi, Facebook user. Not sure who that is. Anybody that looks like that, it means you're watching from my group, and you just need to click the StreamYard link at the bottom of the description of my live so I can see who you are. Hello, Ford. Good to see you here. We've got Suzette as well, and Tony. Great to see you all on. Hi, Kathy over there on Instagram. We've got Jen as well. Good to see you guys over there on Instagram. So let's get straight into it, okay? Here's some 5 tips to help you stay more focused. Number 1, distraction-free zone. Where do you work? Do you have a desk, or are you on the end of the kitchen bench in the lounge room with the TV on? Are you working at a table with the TV in the background? Where are you actually working? For you to really focus, you've got to be in a distraction-free zone or noise cancelling headphones, whatever it is. But when you are sitting down to work, really have a sanctuary space for that. So, any of you actually like working out on a table, out with the rest of the family, walking around, kids, those kind of things, depending on your lifestyle and where you're at, whether you've got kids or grandkids kind of running around, if you work from home, that kind of thing, you do need to take that into, consideration. But if you want to be more focused, you really need to have a dedicated workspace that is set up to allow you to focus. If there's too many distractions around you, if there's TVs on, people around, you are already behind the 8 ball. So if you can have a table of some sort, a clear table, not a table with papers all around it that you kind of glance over. Oh, you forgot to do that. Oh, all those kind of things. So your workspace, your environment actually makes a big difference as to whether you will focus or not. Move out of the kitchen, move out of the lounge room, move away from distractions, people, and allow yourself, set yourself up for success to start with. If you're in an environment where there's distractions all around you right in front of your face, you're already way behind the 8 ball. Okay? So a distraction-free zone is number 1 to stay focused. Number 2, set mini milestones. So small tasks in a small time frame. Mini milestones. If you set big tasks with big time frames, it can really set you up for failure because we have a concentration span of like next to nothing, human beings. Some of you might be really good at being focused for a period of time, but we get distracted really easily as human beings. So you've got to break things down. The further you can break things down into mini milestones, like an activity with a certain amount of time frame, or if it's a big task, break it down into smaller tasks with small time frames so you can stay focused. The longer you're in front of something, the more you're likely to get distracted and unfocused, after a period of time. So really small milestones in small time frames, you're more likely to stay focused for a shorter period of time than a longer period of time. So set yourself up for success with that. Look at your to-do list, look at all the things you have to do and set small milestones. It's better for you to set a small milestone and achieve it and feel accomplished than set a big task with a big time frame that's not really realistic, and then you get disappointed with yourself that you didn't achieve it, and then you start beating yourself up, and then we start the negative spiral. Small milestones set you up for success. So it's a small chunk of whatever it is you need to do in a small time frame, get it done, and have a positive tick at the end of that. It's rewarding. It means you've achieved something. You feel good about it. When you feel good about things, you will be more productive. When you feel negative about things or you start beating yourself up, I didn't do it again. I've sat here for a couple of hours and what have I done? Or you get to the end of the day and it's like, I didn't get any of that stuff done. I allowed myself to get distracted. It's probably because you're not really focused on a small task in a small time frame. Do you get the difference? Set yourself up for success. Small task, small time frame, write it out, get it done, achieve it, sends positive brainwaves up here. You feel good. You will be more productive moving forward. Opposite direction, no tasks, no real time frame. You just sit down at your desk in the morning. Okay, what am I going to do? I've got a number of things I've got to do, and there's no real plan to it. You just, the hours will go by and it doesn't really matter because you didn't even have a plan in the first place. So small mini milestones will set you up for success with focus. Okay. Third one, how many of you have heard of the Pomodoro technique? There is a reason why so many follow it. If you don't know what it is, I'll share that with you in a minute. But this is something that a lot of people use because it works. So if you are not somebody that is can keep focus, this is a really good strategy. You can just Google it if you need to learn more about it, the Pomodoro technique. What it means is 25 minutes on, 5 minutes off. So in a 30-minute increment, you are focused on something for 25 minutes and 25 minutes only. And then you take a 5-minute break, but it's only a 5-minute break, not a 15-minute break, not a 30-minute break. 25 minutes on, 5 minutes off. Give yourself a little refresh, a few deep breaths, go, drink, toilet, whatever it is. 25 minutes on, 5 minutes off. That's the Pomodoro technique. So plan your little mini milestones, our number 2 step, in a Pomodoro technique. Like just try it. If you're really unorganized, you're really unfocused, you just don't get enough done, try this technique on for size and see how it works for you. So for 25 minutes, you are on doing a specific task, and then the timer goes off. Like set a timer if you need to. Set the alarm clock on your phone. 25 minutes on, 5-minute break. It maintains a high level of focus when you follow that technique. Okay, so that's a really good strategy for you to try. If you just keep, like, you're one of those people that sit down in your desk in the morning, especially those of you that work from home, you don't really have any time pressures. If you don't set the mini milestone within a time frame like the Pomodoro technique, you'll probably end up Well, I said this only like a couple of weeks ago when I was going through the productivity kind of hacks to get through. Those of you that have more time, hands down guaranteed you waste more time. I know when I'm not as structured and I'm not as busy, I actually waste more time. When I'm busy and I'm structured and I know I've got this call and this training and this and I'm jumping from one to the other, I'm so productive because my kind of back is up against the wall and I've got a really tight schedule. Whereas if I've got more time on my hands, I scroll a little bit more, take more time to do things, get distracted. So schedule things in and and use the Pomodoro technique. Okay. Same thing with family. If anybody maybe you got people around you that don't support your business much, or you've got other distractions with family and whatever, anybody can wait 30 minutes. Anybody. Your husband, your wife, your kids, your grandkids, depending on the age, that obviously take your circumstances into consideration, but generally anybody can wait 30 minutes. Have a sign on the door. I do not disturb until 4:30 p.m. and you put the sign on the door when it was 4 p.m. Like, set your boundaries. You've got to have boundaries to stay focused. And anybody can wait for 30 minutes. Even somebody on the other side of your messenger can wait 30 minutes. I know what some of you are like. You are a slave to your messenger. You pick up your phone all the time, a message comes in. You've distracted yourself. Your focus is completely gone because now you've given all your attention to that message that just came in. Don't do it. Stay focused for 25 minutes, then a 5-minute breather. Check your messages then, okay? Number 4, 2 more. Number 4, be very alert to your wandering mind. What I mean by that is some of you might have a really short kind of fuse when it comes to staying focused, and your brain's here, there, everywhere. Like you are really easily distracted by your own thoughts. The best thing to do is to be really aware of that you know that you have that kind of personality trait. And when a thought comes in, have a little piece of paper. This is my list. You probably can't see that because of the glare, but I've got a number of things written on that list. My pen is nearby me. So when I'm doing something or I'm on a call with somebody or something and my mind goes wanders, I'll do this in the middle of a Zoom call. I might be on a Zoom call with my team and something slips into my brain. I will grab my pen and my piece of paper and I will actually write it down. Like I can write something down on the side and let it go. Same with when you're working on a task and you go, I've got to order that in the shopping this week, or I forgot to pay that bill, or I forgot to send that message to somebody. Do not do it there and then. Do not. You have your pen and paper by your side. How many of you have something by the bed and you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and you've got to, like, I've got to get it out of my head, otherwise I'll stay awake. But you write it down, you get it off your head, and then you'll go back to it later. Do not act on those distraction thoughts and things that you need to do, or scrolling something or something that you forgot to do. Do not act in it in the moment. You just be very alert to your wandering mind, write it down, let it go, and come back to all those things after. What majority of people do will act on it in the moment. So it's like, I forgot to get back to that message. I'll go and do that. Then you pick up your phone, you go to the message, and then 30 minutes later, you're gone. You're off on another tangent. You've opened your phone. There was another message there. You attended to that message, the thing that you remembered, and you've just wasted an hour. I'm not kidding. That's how most people operate. So number 4, what I mean by be alert to a wandering mind is you've set your little mini milestone, you've set your 25-minute timer, you are on task, and if something wanders in to your brain, you have your piece of paper and your pen by your side, you write it down, get back to somebody in Messenger, or pay that bill, or whatever, get it off your mind, go back to your task and stay focused. As far as productivity goes, if you chop and change all your activities, you are wasting. Those minutes turn into hours. If you have a wandering mind, something creeps in and you're working on something, write it down, get it off your head, out of your head, and go back to it later in maybe another 25-minute time block where you're catching up with all the loose ends. Okay? Being a multitasker is not something to be proud of. So if you're working on something and you're like, something comes in, your wandering mind, oh, I forgot to do that. Oh, I've got to reply to that message. Oh, I've got to get back to that. And you act on it in the moment. That means you're multitasking, and it is proven to be a really unproductive thing for you. Okay. So be very alert to your wandering mind. Okay. And the last one, plan for pitfalls. Spit it out. I've been on Zoom calls for hours already. Plan for pitfalls. Now, what I mean by that is know yourself. Know how you work. Know what you get distracted by. If you know that you get distracted by your messenger, while you're working on a task, put the phone away. Put your screen upside down. I spoke about that a couple of weeks ago. So if you've got a phone, I've got a cover on mine. So all my phones, I have covers on them. So I close them all the time. When I'm on calls, when I'm on Zoom calls, the cover is closed, so I'm not going to get distracted while I'm on a call by a message coming through. If you've got a phone that has like an open cover, sit it upside down on your table when you're working on your mini milestone for your 25 minutes. Okay? Get the phone out of the room. Have it in another room while you're working on your task. Stay on task. Anybody can wait 30 minutes unless it's an emergency and you're waiting for a call to come through, whatever. But we did used to survive in years gone by without mobile phones. Do you remember those years? Those phones that had a cord attached to a wall, and we all survived. Nothing was people couldn't get hold of you unless you actually walked over to a phone and picked it up off the wall. These days, it's far too convenient, and everyone says, oh, I've got an emergency, I have to have my phone on with me. It's just, it is a pure distraction. So if you are really trying to get work done, you turn off the email on your computer, close the program down, have your phone upside down or a cover on it. Actually focus on what you're working on for 25 minutes. You can do it. When you have your email open on your computer, so you're working on your computer, your phone by you with the screen up, do you realize how many times your mind goes in a million different directions, and you've sat in front of your screen for probably an hour and legitimately done about 10 minutes work, if that, because you are so distracted by everything around you. So your environment, the people, the voices, the TV, the radio, the phone, all of that, we are in a world of chaos that keeps us majorly unfocused. So have a think about these 5 things that I've shared with you in this video, and how can you actually execute them. So while you're actually working on something, you're working on something and you get it done. Staying focused on something for 25 minutes is much more effective than you sitting in front of your computer for 3 hours and getting 25 minutes work done in 3 hours, because you've flipped over to your email. Somebody called you on the phone, you went to your messenger, you went to Facebook to look for something, and then you got distracted by a post, and 30 minutes later you're like, what did I go here for? Does this ring true for any of you, with allowing all the distractions that we have on our computers and our phones and our life that keep us unfocused? That's totally up to you. You can control that. Have a think about these kind of things that I'm mentioning with you, and give yourself half a chance to stay focused. Okay. Donna, on Facebook here, my workspace gets constantly moved around the family. just wherever you can find a quiet space where, and again, oh my God, the papers and the piles. Yeah, get it. Hi, Helen, so true. Small milestones. We've got to have those small wins to celebrate. You have no idea psychology-wise the difference that it makes when you actually set yourself a little goal, little milestone in a small time frame and you achieve it. You actually feel good. It sends off endorphins in the brain going, I did it. When you do that, you get motivated to do more versus I'm unorganized, I'm productive, I didn't get my DMO, daily method of operation, done again today. I've got to the end of the day, I didn't get anything ticked off my list. I was so unorganized today. All that kind of negative self-talk, just spirals you in the wrong direction. Then you end up thinking your business is too hard. This is all too hard. I'm going to give up. And, you can either set yourself up for success or set yourself up for disaster. You choose. Okay. It's really important. Okay. Makes sense being there. I remember when there were no mobile phones. Is anyone old enough to remember that? Disconnect so you can connect with your work. Very well summed up there, Dean. Thanks, Helen. I always need to be reminded of these things. Totally. Thanks, Helen. I needed this reminder. And a lot of these things, you guys know this is not new. But sometimes we just need to hear it again and again and again to go, yep, I really need to get back to that, or I really need to implement that, or I need to be more mindful of that, or I need to be aware of that, because you know yourselves, you know whether you're productive or not, you know whether you're focused or not. So if you're not productive and you're not focused, you really have to think about these things and hear them again and again and again and implement them to create new habits, because this is what it comes down to, your habits. You all have bad habits. So turn your bad habits into good habits. Have great habits. But it takes practice to create good habits. So these kind of 5 things that I've shared with you today, if you practice them and you do them again and again, they become habits that work in your favor rather than against you. Okay. And this is why I'll always talk about this kind of stuff, because it's the little stuff that we do like this that sets you up for success or otherwise. And I want to try to help you set you up for success. Okay. So take from that what you will, but I hope you go and execute and have a think about those things so you can be more productive. When you're more productive and focused, you will achieve more things. When you achieve more things, ultimately at the end of the day, you earn more money. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day. So go and take action from what I've shared with you today, and I will see you on my next live video.